Than that, Sparrow.
All right, hold it down. All right, gentlemen, I expect a clean break at all times. I want to re-emphasize and reinforce the fact I don't want any hitting on the break. When I tell you to break, I give you the command to break. I want you both to step back clean, protect yourselves coming out of the clinches. Watch your low blows, watch your holding and hitting. Let's have a nice, clean contest. Good luck to both of you. Touch them up.
Jim, when Moskiev deposited Rahman in your lap a few years ago, he weighed 230. At 260, I don't think you're going to survive. You're a goner if he comes through the ropes this time.
I'm steering him toward George, Larry. I feel as though at 260, he needs to land in George's lap rather than mine. But we shall see what happens as David Tua goes after Hasim Rahman. You've seen some of Tua's fast starts in the back. Rahman fire, slugs back with the right hand, going early.
The one thing about David Tua, although with no danger if he kind of stay in the middle of the ring.
Early on at close range. 8.
The rope when you're
59.
His right hand. To his right hand.
Because he's so confident in his entire career.
Way back, that right foot is way back there, so he's got that's good.
Released on the internet, a poll 40 writers picking coming as it did from have to wonder about the objectivity. Most ringside experts believe is to beat Tua with his absence.
Went from about 8 to 3.5 to the weigh-in yesterday.
It's practically no, but he's
coming off 2 straight.
Roxiating from the center of the ring. 3 out of 30. And you heard Kevin Barry saying to Tua, David, I need you to lead. I need you to get off first before he does.
Straight with me.
He is where the Samoan Islands, moving at age 9 to Auckland, New Zealand. Fight grown men in front of their family store. Big left. Tua gets his money punch in for the first time. And again.
And what's interesting, which is something
you got to keep that fight right. And I think if he can do what he did in the first round, it's just a
Rock trying to land a punch with his biggest win down in
Tua feints with his left jab and step back
and left away from Tua's left chin, George.
You're far over you are. They said dead man.
Right eye. The damage already done by jab in this fight.
He's been knocked out a few times. He's got nothing to prove.
Well, he won the first 8 rounds easily in Miami before Tua finally started to get to him in the 9th, fighting from behind. He was out. He was even him out. He was even
really work here.
He's not at all.
He's letting Rahman establish his own pace.
And Rahman landed a right hand before Tua came back. Thrown his jab, an average of 62 times per round in the first 2 rounds.
He's actually increased the high temp
expected given the weight.
With that left hook, Rahman keeps his right hand up by his face. And something right.
Tua trying to.
When a guy's out of shape like Rahman, he can get tired and start breathing hard. Never get.
He's in better shape than we give him credit for.
I like you are the better because you know to sit down, don't start doing anything, don't overexert yourself. All of these.
Rahman is in the first 3 rounds showing the movement with landing heavier blows than it.
Got his left, throw your jab.
And both of Tua's eyes going at the outside of the left eye for David.
Tua is a very effective puncher when his opponent in the ring, so he needs to it's a certain push to his right side at all.
Well, you saw this in arm length when they land his jab. David Tua's
extra pounds around his belly.
They use that belly to their advantage. Rahman is getting closer and closer.
Physical damage with his early jab assault. Tua almost.
Too little, too late for Tua. He's lost the first 3 rounds easily. Joe Frazier was a left hooker, but Joe from shoulder movement take a fighter down.
Harold, how do you have it scored through 3?
With our esteemed colleague, Mr. Merchant, 3-0, 30-27, Hasim Rahman. Jim, in the first 2 rounds, Rock won it with the jab, but in round 3, he started to drop the right hand. In other words, it's illegal. That being
is pointing to make the point that's the first time he brought Tua near us on the ropes. Rahman leaned over the top of Tua.
just like that.
Rahman's pace finally beginning to slow. Started fight.
Going to the body of Tua.
For David Tua.
Enough at all, the weakest wrong man. Second and third round. So you can't just discourage him like that. Back is closer to the rope. Rahman
continues to touch up to his face. Rahman, he's 59.
There's no shame in his game.
Expected in boxing has occurred almost every time we've been out. It's now expected, and what far has certainly been better not be.
Go ahead. Every time
at your
way down from his
goes to the ropes, man.
Tua lands a right.
It seems that David Tua doesn't even want to hit you unless you're close. Just a little bit.
Into clinches.
Tua so difficult to read. Tua in round 5. Rahman, who threw 83 of them in round 3, the 2. Rahman
jab, and that's the bad advice. You can't give it that. Yeah, but he can do the other. That right hand and then the left hook.
He got left
make that
there. He got close.
Then come. Just go winging.
Can the 30 pounds off?
No, that's not going to help in that area. Lean on this big man.
Flush with one of those big shots. But he's making the point, and there's
he is off again.
When he was sticking it aggressive. Doesn't anymore.
Tua was a third.
Carry back.
The referee said break.
Hey, be first.
Here's a medley of jabs from Rahman. This could be 4.5 years ago. It is tonight. He's just impaling Tua on the end of that jab.
Out of 25, but they were big shots. Rahman 11 out of 39, but 8 of them were relatively weak jab position, probably behind on.
And rides him across the ring. He leans on him so that he pushes Tua backwards. So that Rack always used to do that when he's riding the guy.
I have to assume that means a full kind of chopping half overarm angle a couple times in there.
And he got him. He got him to do it. He's on the ropes too. He's on the ropes. He was hurt, and now he's on the ropes with Tua wants him.
Hard punches, big shots. Rock taking him pretty well, but David Tua's gotten loose now.
And he's moving to Tua's right side and left side. So you can go to the hook. Or so low to the floor.
He's gotten a little tired here.
4 pounds, boy, you got to take a breather.
But it also looks like Tua's gotten some of his confidence back.
Yeah, he's loving the fight now.
This has been a big round. Rock hasn't really landed anything big since the 4th round.
This is when Tua like to sing into your corner hurt.
Needs to hold.
Here is the other hammer that sent Rahman reeling. And now we'll see if the conditioning factor, the stamp affects Rahman coming down the stretch.
Power punches and round.
Clinch and hold, count to 5 before you let us. But not
Just do him.
Well, he's tired. And if you a few rounds off, make the referee come in and break you. Don't step back as he instructed you to do. He'd start sweating.
Crowd is quiet.
Back away. And the referee says break. Time up again.
As Rahman seems to be getting a little bit of a break here. Seems to have expended. Now David brings the jab back. And Rahman, if you were done, King.
Blue King. Blue King. Blue King.
Do anyway.
By the left hook. David unloads more power shots. Big
there it is. He's got him on the ropes.
He wobbles. He wobbles.
Got him on the ropes.
As Tua was trying to put him into this for this knockout. Big uppercut by Tua to punctuate.
Gravity in boxing is coming down and then coming back up. Both of these fighters have been down in their careers. Both of them are trying to come up again.
Round 9 beginning. tactical dominance that he had in the first 3 rounds. Tua to continue to land big shots.
That right hand
goes both ways.
Something he hadn't really tried much. Still coming. Bernard Hopkins. David Tua.
The other stuff. It's all he's got tonight.
good right hand by Tua's left hook for Tua.
He lands a right hand across hook, but not a little bit of a comeback here in the ninth. There's another right hand swat by Tua. But they're 3/4 of this. Only 31 thrown in the ninth round. Rahman threw 55 as he made a little bit of a comeback. And said there were 2 rounds.
86. Whereas Rahman wins the first 4. Good hooks to win the next 4. But Rahman.
So Tua can't puncher. He hasn't yet to catch boxes.
Vast majority of ringside early knockout. The kind of thing you'll often hear. Meanwhile, Rahman
show back, so he seems that Rahman is not out of
at it with his right glove.
You're worried about your eye. You're not supposed to worry about keep fighting.
The left.
Just that moment something. It's too late. Reaches out for desperation.
His most ubiquitous fighter, Chris Bird, IBF heavyweight belt holder. Winner of this fight, Larry Merchant, becomes a mandatory for Bird's version of the heavyweight title. Is that correct?
That is correct, which doesn't necessarily.
He's in the 10th round. He doesn't have here.
The weight is never an issue. Sometimes the weight means he's shaped. Heavyweight.
Well, these two guys have spent the better part of 21 rounds in the ring together, and Rahman at of those rounds, but Tua still has a chance to knock him out. Lands a right hand there. Left hook there.
He's up with it. If he'd even throw it right
in his game.
And all you can do is put your hand in a certain position. Think. And then gave him a little counseling before the fight. Yeah, you don't want him giving you some advice about boxing.
Big punches by Tua, and he backs Rahman up with a right hand.
There you are. Now you got him against the rope. You got to go for the finish.
He's got him going. But Rock comes back with a jab and a right hand.
It's about 260.
Dangerous moment, properly saved by Hasim Rahman. He's going to make it into the last round. So David Tua lost all of the first 8 rounds on 2 scorecards against Frezo Kendo and knocked him out in the 9th. He may need a similar rescue here. Rahman, through 11, has landed 174 out of 647, has thrown almost 300 more punches than Tua. He seems to stand to win the boxing match.
Round 11 and may have pulled it out by landing the biggest shot, left jab, and then he gets you with a forearm. He puts that forearm under Tua's jaw.
Evan back so far.
This makes the leader.
Tua hasn't given up. Still got the puncher's chance.
Izanrate.
On the rope, Tua's got the chance.
Wins this round, George.
I think that he can afford to
put himself back in the position to negotiate for the round. 40 seconds to go, and Tua shows nothing to indicate that, particularly this year, when every fight seems to produce a significant upset. One after another we get them. Rahman jabbing and dancing, holding his arms aloft. Tua trying to end it in the closing seconds, and he's the one who goes down on a punch after the bell. And Rahman comes over to show us his left arm.
Tua tried to steal it. Whenever the bell would ring, he tried to get in his shots. And that's not good at all.
Crowd boos Rahman for celebrating. I don't see why. He deserves to be proud of himself.
Yeah, he did a good job this time.
But if you're sitting in the bleachers and you see all those big shots that David Tua throws, that tends to influence you, George.
Wouldn't influence me.
George is clear in his mind on who won the fight, that's for sure. Harold, what does your card show now?
Okay, Jim, I thought that might have been a knockdown. I'd love to see that again. That was damn close. Something hit David Tua, and it wasn't the referee, and I didn't touch him. 115, 113, 7 rounds to 5, Hasim Rahman. Jim, I don't know. I just think he may have pulled it out with that last punch. Rahman, I thought, lost the 11th, but certainly I thought he won the 12th with that, with that shot that virtually knocked Tua down. So,
but Harold, it was after the bell.
Well, I don't know. To me, he hit him. He just nailed him. I don't know. I'd have to see it in real time again, Jim. That was close.
Can we see it? I'm asking the production truck now. Can we see it with the sound? Because I'm fairly certain that knockdown takes place well after the bell that ended the fight. In which case,
no doubt about it. It was after the bell.
I agree with you, George.
It was a fall down, really.
Told you, baby.
You think Tua went down as much from exhaustion as from the punch?
No, he just slinging punches and got off balance, and the guy just kind of met him with some kind of...
All right, let's listen.
There's the bell.
I don't know if we heard enough of it to be sure.
It was after the bell. We knew that.
In the meantime, Jimmy Lennon has the results of the fight, so let's go up to Jimmy and see who won.
He won.
Don King celebrating. He's Rahman's promoter, and he may be the one who already knows the score. We're not sure. But I've thrown to Jimmy. Oh, here you go. Jimmy, tell us who won the fight.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 12 rounds of action, we go to the scorecards. Here are our score totals. Judge at ringside, Robert Grosso, scores the bout 116 to 112 in favor of David Tua. Judge at ringside, Bill Clancy, scores the bout 116 to 112 in favor of Hasim Rahman. And judge at ringside, George Hill, sees the bout 114 to 114, even a draw. The decision is even a draw.
The strange actions of the heavyweight division continue as this bout is declared a draw between Hasim Rahman and David Tua. The draw is something of a moral victory for Rahman, who was counted out in the bout by most experts yesterday when he weighed in at 259. The draw is something of a loss for Tua, who became a heavy favorite in the fight and exits without the expected victory. George Foreman believes that Rahman clearly deserved the victory, and look at the CompuBox numbers. He landed 58 more punches. He threw 278 more punches. He landed at almost as high a percentage. He seemed, George Foreman, to dictate the flow of the bout.
No doubt this was a victory for Rahman. He boxed. He was able to go in there at heavy weight. He didn't get at a heavier weight. He didn't get discouraged, didn't get knocked down, and this is a win for Rahman.
But officially it becomes a draw as you look at the jab numbers where Rahman dominated. Who in the world would have thought that he would average nearly 50 jabs per round, coming in the eyes of most 30 pounds overweight? What a performance by Hasim Rahman under these circumstances. Larry Merchant stands by with both fighters.
Thank you very much, Jim. All right, David, you first. David, most people seem to think you were behind. Kevin Barry was telling you had to win the late rounds. Did you think you were behind in the fight?
No, I didn't think so. I thought, it was a close fight. I thought I landed the bigger and the harder shots, and I thought I did enough to win. It was a tough fight.
Why was he being so effective against you with the jab again? Do you have no defense or offense against the jab?
I think pretty much what I was doing wrong in there, I think I was pretty much waiting too much. I think pretty much I was seeing myself as more of a counterpuncher rather than putting my will on him, like forcing the fight and making movements and jab and getting inside.
This was an elimination fight. The winner to fight for Chris Bird for his title. We have a draw. Do you think you have to fight Rahman again to get that honor.
Let's do it again. Let's do it again. You know, the fans saw it. It was a good fight for the fans, good fight for boxing, and hey, it's the only thing I can say. We can do it again.
Thank you very much, David. All right, Rock. All right. You obviously thought you won the fight. You were celebrating afterwards. What is your reaction to the decision?
Same old stuff, man. I can't beat this David Tua, man. I done beat him twice and got no victories on my record for. That's absolutely ridiculous, man. I made him bleed. I knocked him down. I cut him in his eye. I cut him in his nose. I outboxed him. The stats had to be like a landslide in my favor. What do I have to do? I switched promoters. I got rid of the big guy and got the greatest promoter, and I still can't get justice. What's going on? Who you thought won the fight?
Well, it's not important who I thought won the fight.
We straight shoot with each other.
Rock, I thought you won the fight.
Thank you.
Okay.
Like you did last time. So you in agreement with me. I won 2, he won none.
Well, no, I didn't think you won the last fight.
You thought I got cheated?
Let's not get into
Come on,
that.
that's my life. What you mean?
All right. Why did you come in so heavy, and how did it affect your fight?
Well, you know, I don't really feel like I twisted my ankle playing softball this summer, playing with these White Lock City All-Stars, and I twisted my ankle, so I blew up. Because I couldn't walk, I couldn't run, I couldn't train when I was home. So when I got to camp, I was extremely heavy, and then I was eating a lot of food as opposed to just eating once a day. But I was eating, you know, fat-free food, and I felt strong. My body fat was down, and I was strong, so I felt like, you know, I know I could go 10, 12 hard rounds. So what difference do it make how much I weigh? He 20 pounds heavier than he was. Nobody making a big stink about his weight, but I come in 20, 25 pounds heavier. And I fought more rounds.
Are you willing to fight him again? Because now there's a draw, and neither one of you has won the right to face Chris Byrd for his title.
Well, I mean, I think, you know, I can't win against this man. I feel like I'm gonna do whatever pays me the most money for real. So if David Tua presents the biggest money fight, then so be it. But the public know who won this fight, man. All the experts, y'all know who won this fight. I got hit with the hook, you know. I mean, y'all see, you know. I mean, he hit me with the hook. He hit me with the overhand right. I mean, I made him bleed out his nose, his mouth, his eyes, and knocked him down. What else can I do to the invincible David Tua to get justice? What else can I do?
Well,
he's him and he bleeds.
These are 3 different judges from the ones in the last fight. They came up with this decision.
I believe that the media, you know, tarnished their judgment. They thought it don't matter what the score is going to be. He's going to knock me out in later rounds anyway. So that's going to be all moot anyway. So I believe they just was just writing down whatever. I mean, I got to call it like I see it. They could not have gave him that round, the rounds that they gave him on merit. He didn't do anything. He didn't do anything.
All right, thank you very much, Rock. Jim?
All right, thank you very much, Larry. Well, George, at the end of the day, the real winner is whoever looked to the public and to the boxing world like he'd have a better chance against Lennox Lewis. And frankly, I agree with you. That's Rahman.
Yeah, in reality, though, it was a good fight, and we got to wait for what's coming up next.
But David,
that's already yesterday.
David doesn't seem to be improving at the rate necessary.
As a matter of fact, he seemed to be going downwardly. He cannot adjust to boxes. You put a jab on him, he doesn't know what to do.
And I'm now thinking maybe Rock should stay up around 250 or something like that. I mean, he didn't look bad.
Don't do anything to change anything now. Go break your leg playing basketball again.
Larry, got any final comments on Tua Rahman before we go forward here?
Well, we thought that in the Rubik's Cube that the heavyweight division is, with 6 sides and 9 pieces to each side, that we would get some kind of decision tonight that would give us a better picture. But obviously the heavyweight division doesn't work that way. Just for your information, what we know about Lennox Lewis is that he will fight on June 21st. We don't know the opponent. Possibly it will be Rahman again now, possibly Kirk Johnson, probably not Vitaly Klitschko, who may or may not be a mandatory. That's for the legal guys to discuss. It hurts my head even to think about all the stuff going on behind the scenes. Roy Jones is aiming for a fight with Evander Holyfield, and the heavyweight division is just as jumbled as it has been before tonight.
As I said, curiouser and curiouser.